From the second you wake up, you are letting the world tell you what to think, what to feel, and what to worry about. You aren't living your life, you are reacting to everyone else's. If you want to stop being a consumer and start becoming a creator, you have to win the battle of the first 60 minutes, because the difference between a life of anxiety and a life of advantage comes down to 3 specific pillars of the tiny daily choice. The 3 pillars of the tiny choice. If you can win these 3 battles, you win your future. Pillar 1, the reactivity tax. Most people spend their first hour of the day in a reactive state. They wake up, reach for their phone, and immediately start processing other people's lives. They check emails, other people's to-do lists, they check news, other people's problems, and they check social media, other people's highlights. By doing this, you are letting the world tell you what to think about. You are starting your day in a state of comparison and anxiety. The tiny choice here is the first 60 minutes. If you choose to spend the first hour of your day working on your own goals, or even just sitting in silence before letting the world in, you gain a psychological advantage that lasts all day. You've decided that your future is more important than someone else's like or comment. You are moving from a consumer mindset to a creator mindset before the sun is even fully up. Pillar 2, the friction rule. We are path of least resistance creatures. If something is easy, we do it. If it's hard, we avoid it. This is why we check our phones. They are usually within arm's reach. The tiny choice is lowering the friction for good habits and increasing the friction for bad ones. If you want to study more, put your textbook on your pillow in the morning so you have to move it to go to sleep. If you want to stop mindlessly scrolling, put your phone in another room or delete the app so you have to log in via a browser. Your future is decided by how well you design your environment so that the right choice is also the easiest choice. Don't rely on willpower. Willpower is a battery that runs out. Design a life where you don't need willpower. Pillar 3. The 2-minute threshold. Often, the reason we make the wrong choice is that the task feels too big. We don't want to write a thesis, start a business, or get in shape. These are overwhelming concepts. So, we play video games instead, because the level up is immediate and clear. The tiny choice is the 2-minute rule. Tell yourself you will only do the task for 120 seconds. Don't work out, just put on your gym shoes. Don't write a paper, just write 1 sentence. Don't clean the house, just wash 1 dish. Anyone can do something for 2 minutes. Usually, the hardest part of the choice isn't the work itself, it's the start. Once you break the seal of hesitation, the momentum carries you forward. You stop being a person who is procrastinating and become a person who is working. The social cost of growth. Here's something no one tells you. When you start making the right tiny choices, people might start to look at you differently. Your friends might not understand why you're staying in on a Tuesday to learn a new programming language. Your family might wonder why you're suddenly so protective of your time. When you say no to that late-night hangout because you have a project to work on, or when you choose to spend your Saturday morning in a library instead of sleeping in, you are moving away from the average. Average is comfortable. Average is safe. But average is also where dreams go to die. The tiny choice often feels lonely in the moment. You have to be okay with being misunderstood by people who aren't headed where you're going. Your future is a private conversation between you and your habits. No one else is invited to the negotiation. If you want a life that most people don't have, you have to do things that most people won't do. You have to be willing to be the weird one who cares about their tiny daily choices. Why the small win matters. We're often told to dream big. While that sounds nice on a poster, big dreams can actually be paralyzing. When the mountain looks too high, we don't even lace up our boots. We look at the summit, realize how far away it is, and go back to sleep. The secret to a successful life isn't a giant leap. It's a series of small wins. A small win is a choice that is so easy you can't say no to it, but so meaningful that it changes your internal narrative. When you collect small wins, you build evidence. Self-confidence isn't a feeling you conjure up by looking in a mirror and saying, "I'm great." Real self-confidence is the reputation you have with yourself. If you tell yourself you're going to do something and you do it, even if it's just washing the dishes, making your bed, or writing one paragraph, you trust yourself more. And when you trust yourself, the big decisions become easy because you know you have the discipline to follow through. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstance and start seeing yourself as the architect of your reality. The ripple effect of a single choice. Think about a pebble dropped into a still pond. The splash is small, almost silent, but the ripples reach the farthest edges of the water. Your tiny choice today is that pebble. Choosing to drink water instead of a sugary energy drink affects your blood sugar and energy levels. That energy affects your focus at 3 p.m. when everyone else is crashing. That focus affects the quality of the work you turn in or the speed at which you learn. That quality affects your reputation with your boss, your teachers, or your clients. That reputation affects the opportunities and lucky breaks you get next year. You are not just doing a task, you are setting off a chain reaction that will determine the quality of your life in 2030. Every choice is a seed. You cannot plant thorns and expect to harvest grapes. If you want a future full of freedom, you must plant seeds of discipline today. Dealing with failure, the never miss twice rule. What happens when you make the wrong choice? Because you will. You're human, and the world is designed to distract you. You will skip a workout. You will spend 3 hours on TikTok. You will eat the junk food. The danger isn't the single bad choice. The danger is the spiral. Many people make one mistake, like failing one quiz or missing one day of study, and then say, "Well, I've already messed up. The day is ruined. I might as well give up for the rest of the week." This is like getting a flat tire and then getting out of the car to slash the other 3 tires in frustration. It makes no sense. The tiny choice in that moment is the reset. You are always exactly one choice away from being back on track. Your future isn't decided by your mistakes, it's decided by how quickly you recover from them. Adopt the never miss twice rule. If you make a bad choice at 10 a.m., make a good one at 10:01 a.m. Don't wait for tomorrow or next Monday to start over. Start over now. The gap between a mistake and a recovery is the ultimate measure of your future success. The paradox of choice. We live in an age of infinite options. We can be anything, go anywhere, and learn anything. But this choice overload often leads to analysis paralysis. We spend so much time worrying about whether we're making the perfect choice that we end up making no choice. The tiny daily choice simplifies this. You don't have to figure out your entire life today. You just have to figure out the next 10 minutes. If you can consistently win the next 10 minutes, the next 10 years will take care of themselves. Successful people aren't necessarily smarter or more talented, they just have better filters. They filter out the noise and focus on the small, high-leverage actions that move the needle. They know that a good plan executed today is infinitely better than a perfect plan that never starts. The reality of time and regret. Time is the only resource you can't get back. You can make more money. You can make new friends. You can even regain your health to some extent. But you can never, ever get back the Tuesday you spent doing nothing. Regret is a heavy burden to carry. It's the ghost of the person you could have been, haunting the person you are. And most regret doesn't come from the big risks we took and failed at. It comes from the tiny choices we didn't make. It comes from the micro no's we gave to our own potential. 5 years from now, you will be 5 years older. The only question is, who will you be when you get there? Will you be the person who looked back and realized they accidentally built a masterpiece through small, consistent efforts? Or will you be the person wondering where the time went while you were busy making just one more easy choice? The person you want to be is currently waiting for you at the end of a long hallway of daily decisions. Every time you choose the harder, more meaningful path, you take a step toward them. Every time you choose the easy distraction, you take a step away. The invisible nature of progress. One of the hardest parts about the tiny choice is that it doesn't provide immediate feedback. If you go to the gym today, you won't look in the mirror and see a different body. If you study a language for 30 minutes, you won't wake up fluent. This is where most people quit. They expect a linear relationship between effort and results, but growth is often S-shaped. You work and work with no visible results, and then suddenly you hit a breakthrough point where everything changes. The tiny choice is the courage to keep going when there is no visible progress. It's the faith that the seeds you are planting underground are currently growing roots, even if you can't see the stems yet. You have to trust the process more than you trust your feelings. Your feelings will tell you to quit. Your process will tell you to keep going. Taking control of the narrative. Your life is a story, and you are the author. But most people live like they are just a character in someone else's book. They react to the plot instead of writing it. When you master the tiny daily choice, you take the pen back. You realize that you aren't a victim of your biology, your upbringing, or your environment. You are the sum of your choices. And because you can change your choices, you can change your life. Stop looking for a magic pill or a big break. Stop waiting for the stars to align. The stars will never align. The world will always be loud. You will always be tired. There will always be a reason to wait. But the choice is still yours. It's waiting for you in the next 3 seconds. It's waiting for you the moment you finish this video. So today's small win is the rule of 1. Identify one single task you've been putting off, something that takes less than 5 minutes. It could be sending an email, folding a pile of laundry, or writing the first 3 sentences of a report. Do not check your phone, do not grab a snack, and do not plan how to do it. Just stand up and do that one thing right now. This isn't about the task itself. It's about proving to your brain that you are in charge, not your impulses. Every time you complete a rule of 1 task, you are building the discipline that will eventually define your entire life. That one small victory is the first ripple in a completely different future. If this gave you clarity today, let me know in the comments. I read through each comment and it helps me create more videos that can benefit you. Like and subscribe for more tools to help your brain work with you, not against you.